Get started. Ooh. All right. Let's see. Am I hearing an echo? I think I'm good right now. We are very, very excited today because we have a very, very special guest with us. So, yes, you're special to me, Edgar.
Okay.
No, he's special to all of us. He's special to everybody.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes. So, everyone, if you don't know who we have with us, we have Edgar, American Cruise. But that's not the real pronunciation. So, Edgar, introduce yourself to everybody.
Well, my name is Edgar Kruijse. Try to pronounce that in English, Kruijse. And I'm a Dutch journalist, which with a specialization in Prince. So, well, basically, I'm a fan with an alibi. But that's who I am.
Thank you. So we are very, very excited that Edgar is going to be here with us to give us the perspective of Prince in the Netherlands. And so we all know about Detroit and Prince. Like there was a love of Detroit for Prince, but there was an equal love of Prince in the Netherlands. And Edgar is going to tell us all about it. We're going to try to get through the housekeeping really quickly because Edgar won't be with us the entire time, and I want to get through as much as possible. But before we get started, I want to recognize that there is a lot going on in the world right now, but this is our safe space, our happy place, and I'm so grateful that you are all here. So just really quickly, I'm going to do a very quick roll call. We got Andre Staley first in the chat. What up, though? Speaking of Detroit. And we got April Watson. I love this. What up, Purple People readers? We got Boombox Guru. I hope you're doing well. We got Cassandra Bradley representing the ATL. All I got to say is Timeless. We're waiting on Timeless. It's almost here. Can't wait. And we got Nick Felden from Denver. We got the Thriller Effect. Welcome. I don't know if you've been with us live. If you have, my apologies, but it's great.
I think that's if I'm not mistaken, that may be Sneak as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And on the down low. All right. Yeah. And then we got Chanel from DC. We got Christina Schlosser from Minneapolis. All right. And we got Sneak 22 in here. So twice.
Yeah, I think the Thriller Effect is his YouTube channel. It's Once Upon a Time in Minneapolis is his Prince documentary, and Thriller Effect tends to be his Michael Jackson work.
Oh, I see. So thank you so much, Nick, for hit that like button. We're back down to 500 views, which is okay. But again, I really want to do this for Prince, his work ethic, particularly his live shows. And this is a really special week. 5 shows in Europe for the parade tour. We got to get those likes up for Prince. And we got Sister Charles in the house from H-Town. I love that the H-Town people be back to back. This happened last week as well. Lisa Williams. And we got Sister Charles. And we got Eldebara. We'll be multitasking early on, so I won't be messaging, but I'll be listening live. Okay, Eldebara, I don't believe in multitasking. I believe in task switching. That's all I'm going to say about that. And we got Annie Ward. Welcome. We got D68A. Thank you so much for all of the incredible shows that we have represented in the accompanying playlist. Because of D68A, because if it wasn't for D68A, you wouldn't be able to hear some of these shows. So I think we got all 5 in the accompanying playlist this week.
And let me give him his proper shout out. This is the DE68A show. All right, there you go.
And we got Lee Christian in the house. Let's see. Mixing a new record. So in and out when my attention and ears aren't needed. Hope everyone is super cool and not. Oh, yes. Not, yeah. So, yeah, I don't like these AI renditions of Prince music, but that's a whole nother conversation that we ain't got time for today. We got Ron Kayla, 612 in the house. We got TP Libra. We got Audrey from the ATL. We got Purple Cat Confetti. We got Mooches from Philly with Vanity. And yes. And we got Chris Bournet in the house. Saying hello, Edgar.
What's up, brother Bournet?
Yes, we all love Edgar. And we got House of Theo. We got Edgar. We got Vanessa in the house. Love all this Edgar love. We got our timekeeper. And we got, oh yes, Raywin. Today is Raywin's 54th birthday. Thank you so much for spending it with us today. That is very, very special. And let's see, we got, oh, hold on. Oh, I didn't know this. So Warner is licensing their catalog for AI training. I haven't heard about that. Is that true? And then let's see, RTL 49 and from Chicago. And we got Gabrielle. And yes, Edgar is in the house. And we got a lot of happy birthdays for Raywin. Love this, Theo. Have you had your plus sign today? I love this, Gabrielle. Sydneyapolis.
There you go.
Australia. Gotta love it. And yeah. Oh, so I got to turn on the comments so everyone can see, like, just want, oh, I got to say hello to Real Lana DJ. Okay. So Nick is already doing the timekeeping for Kim. Okay. That's how we're doing it. But we got to say hello to Spooky Karuna for Spain is in the house. And then we got Dallas, Texas in the house. It is 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And let's see. I got some Putty Red video for C. Lee.
Woo! Yes, indeed.
All right. And we got Big Sexy in the house. Okay. So let's get this housekeeping done with the quickness because we got a lot to talk about. And this is week 34 of What Did Prince Do This Week. It's a very slow read of Duane Tudahl's Prince Studio Sessions book series, as well as a Saturday salon echoing the spirit of the Harlem Renaissance. We're going week to week, not date to date. We are going to be reading, and it's a very short read, but we got lots of photos and we got lots of information from Edgar. So it's going to be a full show, even though it's not a lot of reading. And it is Sunday, August 17th. If you want to turn your books to that page, August 17th, we are in 1986. Everybody should know that. But in case you're new, we are reading Sunday, August 17th, 1986 to Friday, August 22nd. So everybody should have their books ready. And you do not need the paperback version, but this is what we're reading right here. And let's see what else we got. We got, oh, yes. If you don't mind, please hype, which you can only do on mobile, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, because I was very excited. I thought we had gone to the 700 views level, but now we're back down to 500. So if you don't mind, just like right now, hitting that like button. And as you come on in, as Ricky would say, just hit the like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithms. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine too. I understand. So the estate of Prince Rogers Nelson is not affiliated, associated, or connected with the What Did Prince Do This Week book club series. Like we said before, we know that the estate is no longer officially, quote unquote, the estate. It is Prince Legacy, LLC, and Primary Wave, but everybody knows that when you say estate, that's who you're talking about. So, and we got to say hello to Heavenly Games. Welcome. And let's see. I think I said hello to everyone. Oh, didn't say hello to Love Sexy 71. Gives me an opportunity to. Love Sexy. Okay. I don't think we're going to get into any disagreements this week because it's the live shows, but our community guidelines are we choose to be a community even when we disagree. And we played at the top of the hour one of my favorite songs from Things Left Unsaid by Eric Leeds from 93 is Commuting. It might actually be my favorite song off this album. Absolutely love this song. And I just woke up this morning saying, I want to listen to Commuting. And it's composed by Eric Leeds and Gil Goldstein and all of that. And I'm a little bummed that I cannot be in Kentucky where Eric Leeds and Aladdin Bliss are currently with Eric Rogers. So they are having a blast, I'm sure. And hopefully I can get Eric come on and talk about what happened. So we are episode number 186, week 34 of What Did Prince Do This Week? This week, Prince did 5 sold out live concerts in Europe. And because we have Edgar with us, do you mind just saying all of the venue names properly? Because I would bastardize them. So will you just walk us through really quickly, like what Prince did this week in terms of the shows and the venues? And
yeah, well, he did 3 shows in the Netherlands at Sportpaleis Ahoy in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. So it's basically what it says. It's Sportpaleis Ahoy. And the Ahoy is because the venue was built in a former harbor, so that's why it's called Ahoy for the ships. Then he travels to Copenhagen at the Valbyhallen in Copenhagen, and Isstadion in Stockholm means ice stadium in Stockholm. So that's basically it.
Awesome. Okay, so a couple of things before we move forward. First of all, yes, Edgar has presented at a lot of my symposia, and actually all of his presentations are on my YouTube channel, including I Wonder You 40, which was the parade / Under Cherry Moon symposium that we did earlier this year. So yes, you can get it there again on my YouTube channel, which is at Polished Solid. And we have
this one is actually on Vimeo because there was too much Under the Cherry Moon footage in there. So YouTube rejected it. So this one is on your Vimeo channel.
Okay. Oh yeah, this was on my Vimeo. Okay. Yeah.
Vimeo, sorry.
Yes. So Vimeo, there's several. Usually I have to put Adam Rudiger's presentations on there. There's several on my Vimeo channel because of copyright issues. So thank you for that, Edgar, because I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. And I went out of my way to cut all the music out of it, and then I forgot to that video from a movie is also copyrighted. So sorry.
Yeah, no, I found that out the hard way. Like I was showing Sign of Times live without no sound, and it stopped the stream. We were doing it's crazy. I was like, really? So the tools are very advanced. And yes, we have Edgar in the house, Dr. Claw, and it's so great to see you here. All right, so let's get started with the first show in the Netherlands. And let's see what, we're not going to read what Duane has in the book. It's about Lisa, and only not because one, you need to read the book. I don't want to read everything, but let's just say on Sunday it was sold out and the capacity was 8,927. So I am going to start showing some stuff, and I need Edgar to help me with some of the translations because I didn't have time. I spent my time putting all this stuff in the slide deck. So can you share with us what we're looking at right now?
Well, you're looking at 2 advertisements from Dutch. One is from a Dutch trade magazine, which was sent out to record stores and stuff like that from the music press. The one on the left. And as you can see there, at that point, when it was published, only 2 shows were announced in the Netherlands: August 17 and August 18. And the interest in those shows it blew up. Originally on August 19, the band Talk Talk was supposed to play in the same venue, and they had to cut Talk Talk out because Prince needed another date because there was so much interest in those shows. And the second one is from a Dutch top 40 leaflet. We have a top 40 list. And back in those days, you could get the list in every record store. Every Friday they had a new one. And this one was printed on the back. And you can see here that, this is also the one. There's also another one, but this is also still the one with just 2 shows mentioned. So this is one. Those were early, advertisements for the shows as part of a bigger parade campaign.
Yes, and so there was a question from Chanel that was this was Prince's first time performing in the Netherlands, right? And then D68A responded, no, he had played Amsterdam one-off in 1981. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Well, yeah, this was basically his first proper show. The 1981 show was actually his first show outside of the United States. And it was a small show. Hardly anyone showed up, few people. So it was more of a showcase than a proper concert. And that goes for the other 3 shows in Europe in 1981 as well. And after that, he decided to focus on the US. Multiple shows in Europe got cancelled between 1981 and 1986. And then in 1986, when Parade blew up, it's here in Europe at least, and he had filmed Under the Cherry Moon here as well in Europe, of course. That was the time that he wanted to explore Europe somewhat better, and that was also the time that we got the big shows, 3 shows in Wembley, 3 shows in Rotterdam now, and all the other ones that you're going to be talking about next week.
All right, and this was
just a quick question, just prior to the tour, because you said blew up, can you talk a little bit about the reception of the Parade album going into the tour? How big was it? How big it wasn't? Just to kind of give us an overview of what Prince is coming into as he's headed that way.
This was basically his Purple Rain moment in Europe.
Okay.
As far as the music goes, because the movie had not been released over here yet. Okay. But as far as music goes, this was his Purple Rain moment in Europe. People were psyched that he finally went to Europe. The Purple Rain hype didn't quite reach our shores yet when it was actually happening in the US. Then the Syracuse show in 1985 was the one we got to see here in Europe on televisions. And that was the moment that everybody started paying attention. Like, what's going on here? Where's this? Who is this guy? And well, then Around the World in a Day was released without a tour. So the hype kept on building based on that one Syracuse show that we saw on television. So that was a great, marketing-wise, that was a great idea to have that show and then build up. So when he finally reached our shores in August 1986, well, it really blew up. There was a Prince hype here in all of Europe.
Very good. Thank you for that. I've always wondered about that going in.
There's also one thing that I've always been wondering. The Parade tour was actually supposed to start here in Europe in late April, in May, going all the way to July. And it was cancelled because of some terrorist attacks here in Europe, specifically aimed at Americans. So Prince cancelled his tour, Lionel Richie cancelled his tour, Manhattan Transfer cancelled their tour. All those tours were cancelled and postponed. And I really think that the Under the Cherry Moon premiere that was now hosted in the middle of nowhere in Sheridan, Wyoming, I really truly believe that it was planned to be in Europe, but then when the tour got postponed, they had to find something else, and that was that tour, or that premiere.
No, that's some great insight. I like that. I think that tracks really well because trust me, we were all in America. My wife still hasn't forgiven Sheridan, Wyoming. I'm not going to use the word that she uses. She doesn't say Sheridan, and I let you use your imagination. One other thing, I'm not going to. So I've seen the Paris 81 show. You know, that booth is pretty out there. Yeah. Do you know if there was a video booth of the Amsterdam show, if anything like that got out there like that?
Oh, I wish there was.
Okay.
I've spoken to many people that were there. Well, not too many because there weren't too many people there, but I spoke to quite a few people that were there. And they, the Amsterdam show in 1981, the Paradiso is quite a famous music club here in the Netherlands. And what they did, because there were so little tickets sold, is they built a stage before the actual stage, so that the venue was somewhat smaller, and they had Prince and Andre and there's playing in front of the actual stage, and then Fink and Lisa on top of the stage on the sides, and then Bobby on top of that. So I really would like to see a video of how that played out, but
Right.
I haven't seen it. There's also not any audio available from that show, so unfortunately.
Right. Well, cool. Thank you. But I really appreciate you setting up for us what was going on in the culture as Prince is touching down over there for the first time. Cool. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's it, Prop Def. Appreciate you, man.
All right. So I think this is the ad that has all 3 dates.
Yeah, this is the one, and this is from a Dutch magazine called Oor, which means ear, which is one of our biggest music magazines here in the Netherlands. And this one's from a week later, so you can see all 3 shows advertised on there, as well as the albums. And also, what I'd like to add is that you can see all the albums here, including For You. Up until that point, not all albums were available here in the Netherlands. For You was never available prior to 1986, and all the others were very difficult. One from Purple Rain on, not so much, of course, but all the others were pretty difficult to find. So Warner, or WEA, as we have them here, really pushed the entire catalog along with the concert here in the Netherlands.
Incredible. All right. So I'm having, give me 1 second. I'm having to do some switching.
So, Edgar, how old are you in '86?
I was 12 in '86 and I couldn't go. I begged my parents. I wanted to go. I had discovered Prince a year earlier with Around the World in a Day. That Around the World in a Day was my entry point. But my parents wouldn't let me go. Sign of the Times was my first show 1 year later, but I didn't see these shows, unfortunately.
It's funny because I got to see Prince like at 10, but I'm gonna say for your parents, good parents. I admit, because I admit that I shouldn't have seen Prince at 10. My mother never forgave my father for taking me to see Prince, and particularly opening for Rick James at 10. That is something a 10-year-old. But so I know you feel bad, but I'll say good parents. So anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, but still, somehow the Parade tour is my favorite tour. I know almost all the bootlegs by heart. I really love this tour, and maybe I love it because I didn't see it. That might be a thing. But I wish I could have gone. Like the Sign of the Times tour was less than a year later, so in a few months, I think maybe I kept annoying my parents all the way after these Rotterdam shows, annoyed at them that they wouldn't let me go. So maybe they thought in '87, well, let's give that that asshole a ticket so he can't stop complaining. But I'm not sure about that.
Well, I would say to your point, and unfortunately I won't be here next week because next weekend begins Jackson State football. So, but to your point, right? These European shows, right? This is like that early '90s. So the Paris show, this is the Japan show, and then I eventually got the Sweden show. So these are the ones that we talking about next week. So I brought these because I won't be here next week. But to your point, we got some really good boots for the Parade shows over there in Europe, and you couldn't help but fall in love with that too, and all of us wish that we were there. All right, that's it. I said, go ahead, Prop Def.
Well, actually, I do want to dig in a little bit, and I know our timekeeper is going to be mad, but so I'm not okay. Remember our community guidelines, okay? So Parade is not one of my favorite tours. And so I'm really curious why, and I can tell you why it's not for me, because Prince really didn't touch his instruments that much. He was more like a band leader, and I was used to him, playing a lot, like his instruments. So I'm curious, like, why is Parade your tour?
Because he is playing all the instruments. He is the band leader, and he is deciding who plays what. And that's what I like, and what I find most impressive here. He's the one calling all the shots. No one plays a note without Prince saying they can play that note. So he is actually playing all those instruments at the same time, and that's what I find impressive. He is the band leader. He is the music. But I must say that one of the first booths I heard was San Francisco '86, and there's a great version of Alexa de Paris in there. And in my mind, that was Prince doing the guitar solo there. And only later I found out, oh, that was Wendy. So so it's also that somehow I connect to the music from that era, even without knowing who plays it. So it's hard to explain why I like this tour so much, but I really like how how the songs flow into each other, and I really like how he pulls songs from the catalog and gives them a makeover. And that's the Purple Rain tour was basically a stage play of the movie, and he played the
Right.
songs the way they were supposed to sound. And then in '86, all the songs sounded different than on the album, or at least had different arrangements here and there, and that's what I really liked about it.
So,
Yeah.
I'm super jealous of you, Edgar, that your first concert was Sign of the Times, because like me, that is one of my favorite tours. It's actually it's probably my number 2 after. And so like hearing that you rate Parade over Sign of the Times is really interesting to me, because for me, Sign of the Times is pretty way up there. So thank you for that.
But I can also explain why I don't like that tour so much, even though it was my first show, because every show is more or less the same. It's followed. There's hardly any variation in there. It's you can if you listen to the show that was released, the Utrecht show, you can pick any of the other shows from Utrecht apart from the third one that was cut short, and they're basically all the same. And that's what I don't quite like about the 1987 tour.
Okay, and Andre is asking, was Sign of the Times your first concert ever of anyone?
Yes. Well, apart from some small bands at my school, but like the first proper music concert, yes.
That's an incredible first tour, Edgar. That's all I gotta say.
So basically, Madhouse was my first concert.
There you go.
part of the experience.
There you go.
That was amazing.
So I want to ask you a quick unfair arrangement question. And it's not completely different, but for me, it's different. I've always loved the arrangement of Boys and Girls on the Sign of the Times tour. It seemed to hit different. It's not that much different than the Parade tour.
No, I agree on that one. It's better in '87. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell me why. Tell me what you like about it, because I love that arrangement.
What I like about the 1987 version is that somehow I don't want to disrespect the revolution there, but I think the musicians from the 1987 band were better equipped to do that song. There's a flow to it. Eric and Atlanta are still there, of course, and
right.
That's not, but somehow the bass is more smooth. The drums are better. I like that, and I also like the intro.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes, that's the first time I heard it. I was like, wait a minute. The first time I heard the boot of it, I was jealous. I was like, why isn't this in the movie? Right? I get he wanted to focus on the album, but I was really bummed. I was like, man.
Have you seen the movie outtakes? There's the you see the band miming to the footage, to the audio from Rotterdam, and there's a part in that footage where they start where Girls and Boys starts, that amazing intro, and then you hear click, and then they start again, because that's not in the movie. So you only hear the start of that song. You go, oh, why don't they continue? It's frustrating.
I will always say this about that boot of those. And Prop Duff is gonna be so mad when I say this. That boot of the Sign of the Times rehearsals, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not a rehearsals person. I don't want to sit there and watch you do that over and over again. Like I've never properly gotten through that long, because it's pretty long. And at some point, I just start fast forwarding through it, and I know that defeats the purpose of that. But I remember the first time I got that boot, I was like, and I'm like, this just work. I don't want to see somebody rehearse it for work. So so that's one of the reasons I'm not as big. To your point. And so now I'll let Prop Duff break me over the coast. All right, go ahead.
All right. So I have some more questions for you, One from Theo here. Theo is saying, since most of his albums were not available in the Netherlands until 86, which album do you think people in the Netherlands generally connected with the most at the time?
At that time, definitely Parade.
Okay.
The singles from the album, they went high up in the charts. It's really strange that up until 1984, all the satellite acts were more popular in the Netherlands than Prince himself. You know, Sheila E. had bigger hits in 1984 than Prince. It was only when Purple Rain, the title track from the album, was released as a single, that was the moment things started to happen here in the Netherlands. But up until that point, Vanity 6 had bigger hits, Apollonia had bigger hits, Sheila had bigger hits, and so it's our love for Prince really started from 86 and on.
So let me ask a question. When they were having those hits, were they connected to Prince, or were they just kind of individual American artists that no one had connected to Prince?
Well, half. Sheila really was an independent artist at that point. And people, but also Vanity to a degree. There was this famous advertisement for a show that didn't happen in '83. The 1999 tour was supposed to come to the Netherlands, and there's this advertisement in the newspaper that has Vanity more or less as the headliner, and Prince is, and there's also this newspaper article that goes along with it, and it's Vanity comes to the Netherlands, and then when you read, and then at the bottom it says, oh yeah, Prince is coming as well. So they were, he was there, of course, but they were more or less their own entity at that point.
Okay. And I just want to add one thing. When you're talking about the tours that were canceled, I just want to give you props for the shout out for Manhattan Transfer. You don't get a Manhattan Transfer mention much. So kiddies in the chat, go look up Manhattan Transfer. They were a really cool late 70s, early 80s singing group. All right, that's it. Go ahead.
All right.
I see there a comment. Wait, no 1990 love for the 1999 love from the Netherlands, and that's indeed one of his biggest flop singles here in the Netherlands was Little Red Corvette, which didn't even chart.
Wow. Okay.
So we really were on a different path up until that point.
Great. Okay.
So
controversy was a hit, the biggest hit up until that point, and then the singles from 1999 either didn't chart or very low in the chart.
All right, I love that because Controversy is my favorite album. All right, so this is another question from Chanel. If his albums weren't available till '86, it seems like not some of them were, but for
some
you,
of them were. 1999 and Purple Rain were available, but the previous albums were very hard to find up until that point. And they because they didn't chart in the Netherlands, those albums they were released and then discontinued after a while. So they were very difficult to find. And For You was never even released in the Netherlands up until 1986. And then they were so the big albums, 1999, Purple Rain, and to a degree big album Around the World in a Day. Those were available, but everything prior to that was difficult to find.
Okay.
So how did the fans become fans in the Netherlands?
Well, I just mentioned the Syracuse show.
The Syracuse show. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That was for many people their first introduction to Prince, and that was really the moment that people started to take notice here in the Netherlands that something special was happening over there. Over there, meaning in the United States.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Oh, and that was basically. I wrote a book about Prince in the Netherlands, and basically all the people I talked to, I have talked to up until that point, they all mentioned that show being in the middle of the night because of the time difference, and somehow everybody was that was their introduction. That was the moment they started taking notice.
So talk to us a little. So I didn't. You introduced yourself very like a short introduction. But you just mentioned that you've written this book about Prince in the Netherlands, And so talk to us more about that book. I know that it's currently only in Dutch. I know that Arthur Turnbull has a copy of it.
This is it.
Yeah.
Prince, a Dutch experience. And,
Yeah.
unlike Duane, I have plenty of pages about the 1986 concerts. It goes on and on and on.
Take that, Duane. So now you're currently revising this book, right?
Yeah, I started this book. In the late 1990s. I had this idea to capture all the info I could find. I work as a music journalist, and I always wanted to write a book about one artist. So basically, Prince was the most logical option, of course. And I started gathering all the information that I could find about concerts in the Netherlands or concerts connected to the Netherlands, with the idea that, well, maybe when he's 80 or 90 and he stops touring, I'll combine all of it, and that will become a book. And he he didn't live to be 80 or 90 years old, and so when he passed, I wanted to throw away the manuscript, because I didn't want to be the guy to take advantage of a famous person's death. But my wife said, no, this is what you have been gathering all this information about all those years. So I finished the book about 10 years ago, and when I made it, a lot of people were hesitant to talk to me, because either they had signed a non-disclosure agreement when they worked for Prince, for instance, or others, they also were a bit hesitant. They didn't want to be the one talking when he had just died. So when the book was released, a lot of people read it and thought, well, we also have great stories to tell. So the past 10 years, I have been gathering all those other stories, and all the stories of the satellite acts as well. The visits of Vanity 6 in the Netherlands, Sheila in the Netherlands, of course, all the others. So that will be the new book, which will be released later this year. I'm just putting the finishing touches on it, and it's it's a monster of a book. My friend Joost has been helping me tremendously, and we're pushing 600 pages. It's coffee table format, so it's it's a huge release. And after that, I must say, I'm retiring from Prince in the Netherlands. I want to explore other parts of Prince as well.
Yes. Well, first of all, I really would love to get my hand on it. And even if I would love, yes, this is what I'm talking about, Kim. This is, you just teed me up. I think we need an English version. And I know that that's a lot, because, we're talking about 600 pages. So in the chat, if you would be interested in reading an English version of Prince in the Netherlands, please let Edgar know that there's interest, because if there's interest, he might consider doing this. And it would be pretty expensive because of,
it's about
hold on
this big. This is 600 pages in Duane's book. So it's and twice the size. So it'll be huge.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would love to see an English version. I think it's really important that Americans in particular, that we know more about Prince in Europe, and that we don't have, such a American US centric view of Prince, that we get other perspectives of Prince from other countries. So I would really, really love to read an English version of the book.
I'll do my best.
Yes.
I really would want an English version as well, because the stories are interesting, and like you said, a lot of things that happen here in the Netherlands, and also started. I'll touch upon that later. In '86, a lot of things happened here in the Netherlands which impacted the entire music industry. For instance, the barriers that you see at every big concert now. It started with Prince in the Netherlands, who he refused to perform in '88, and then Mojo concerts, the local promoter, they bluffed. He say, we have a great barrier system, and if we place that, will you perform? And he said, well, yeah, I'll do that. So they improvised a barrier system overnight, and that has become the barrier system that now has, well,
Oh, wow.
almost every major concert in the world has that very same barrier system, and it started with Prince. That's those kind of stories make it interesting and make it also not too much Dutch centric. It's a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah, so actually, just real quick, I'm sorry, Celie.
Right.
Heavenly Gates put in the chat, you know, like if not a GoFundMe, a Kickstarter, like some kind of crowd funding could possibly help, you know, with the English version, and that way that you could figure out, gauge, like, you know, who's interested and all of that.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm up until here in finishing the Dutch version, and once that's done, that's in 2 months' time it should be there, and I'll go and think about an English version.
Okay, here's a couple more. So here's more work for you, Edgar. How about an audiobook or ebook in English that might be more cost effective to produce? These are good ideas. And I love
absolutely.
One is saying the same thing. And I'm sorry, Celie, I've been cutting you off. So go ahead before you forget what you want.
No. It was just really only two things. Number one, the reason, and again, props to Prof. Duff, because the symposiums are what opened everybody's eyes to how many great Prince scholars there are around the country, around the planet,
around the world, yeah,
around the world. But I think DE68, you highlighted it, that when Edgar gives a presentation, he's one of those people that everybody show up for, like people, you know, and so that's why you want an English version. For those who said, that's why you want an English version of Edgar's book, because he has a track record of just phenomenal scholarship and phenomenal presentations. And so that alone is why we feel like there should be an English translation. And then just to another point, because I want to segue into another question, that I'm glad this was put up, but I just wanted to kind of say that when people are talking about Black artists being appreciated overseas, they're really only specifically talking about 4 places. They're talking about London, England, Paris, France, Korea, and Japan. And that's because those are tied to American bases. I think what you have to understand is what's happening with World War I, World War II, and the Harlem Renaissance, and then American military bases. Those were places where Black people could go and not feel the smothering and sting of Jim Crow and segregation. So it's not that. So yes, so that when people are talking about overseas, you really have to talk about those 4, but specifically London, England, and Paris, France. That's where jazz kind of gets kicked off and those kind of things. That's what makes Edgar's research so important, because we also then will get into an understanding of how Black culture and Black music gets transported into the Netherlands, and then how that gets taken into, which is another reason why we need an English version of that. I'll shut up.
And well, it's a good point what you say there. I was just saying about those terrorist attacks that made Manhattan Transfer, Lionel Richie, Prince and all postpone their tours. And those attacks were specifically aimed at American militaries that were stationed in Europe. So it all connects.
All right. So because we only have Edgar here for a very limited time, let's get into these photos for the show. So I have a lot of photos, Edgar, and if there's one that really piques your interest, let me know. Just start talking, because we can't.
This one is interesting, because I only found out that the picture on it is actually from a few weeks later in Brussels. These posters were made by Mojo Concerts. They are as a souvenir, and they were sold in the weeks after the shows. So somehow they decided to put an image from another show on it. But it is a great poster.
It is a great poster, and I also love that they have the Purple Rain font. That annoys me, but you know, such is life.
Yeah.
So here's one of the tickets, and we'll see multiple tickets in this format in different colors. I particularly love this color combination. Can you tell us any of the details on the ticket that might be interesting to
Well,
us?
this was a ticket for a journalist, so he could get in for free. So vrijkaart means free exit, of a free entrance. Sorry.
Nice, thank you. And this is just a collage of
This is
some
a collage. Yeah.
and
This I'm pretty sure that you all seen the photos of the footage of Prince playing in Rotterdam. That it's all over YouTube. If you search for it, you can find it. And at one point, he's throwing all these tambourines into the audience. And this is one from a friend who caught one. So
amazing. Now I love crowd photos. So what comes to mind when you see this photo, Edgar?
well, I see a lot of familiar faces, but for people who are still fan. But it's also nice to see Roald, which is who's a friend of mine here at the front, wearing a homemade parade tank top. But what I also like here is that you see all these happy faces. If you listen to the bootlegs from these Rotterdam concerts, this photo is from the first show, so everyone is happy here. But on the second and the third show, a lot of fights broke out because people wanted to be on the front of the stage, and so that's where. Like I said, that's where the whole concert barrier story starts already here in '86. But yeah, that's all I have on this one. What I also like is that everybody is so young. Prince was at that point for young people.
So, and this doesn't really connect, but I'm thinking about the model who is in the Kiss video, right? And
she's also from the Netherlands. She's in my book.
So that was the first time I became aware of, say, Black Dutch people, and I didn't know that I actually knew one who lived in Mississippi. Like my mentor was like, "Cindy, don't be stupid. Yeah, you do know somebody." I just remember my mentor. But looking at that picture prop stuff, you know, I'm prone to counting the Black faces, and so like I'm seeing like 3 noticeable Black faces. There's a girl's face right there under the arm. Looks like another girl kind of back center way. And then I'm guessing about the guy that's kind of like center. He may be, but you know, just seeing that presence of Black people in the crowd. Could you talk just a little bit about maybe the Black population and you know what is the Black pop? Not to get to me, but just maybe the Black population and what it would mean to be there. Go ahead, I'll shut up.
Well, the thing is, I mentioned the very first show in 1981 that. We here in Netherlands have a big Black population, mostly from Suriname, which is a former Dutch colony, and from we have a lot of brown people from Indonesia and from that era. And if you look at the videos from there are videos that show the audience before this specific show trying to get in, and you see. Well, all kinds of colors mixed and all trying to get in, all being friends. And that's also how I remember the 1980s in the Netherlands. For me at school, for instance, we had Black people, we had brown people, we had some people from China, and of course white people. We were all just getting along, and there really wasn't an issue with people coming from one country or coming from another country. We were we were just getting along. It's weird that at that point in time there really wasn't much segregation or anything like that. You just you just saw people, and
Right.
in a later stage, like the late 1990s, somehow things started to shift, and you had, people going into colored groups again, and that's a pity that happened.
Well, thank you for
and
that.
I don't really know why that happened, to be honest.
Human beings being human.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but I appreciate. Thank you for that. Thank you for that insight. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Prato. Go ahead with the
No.
photos.
All right. So Edgar, like I said, I have a lot of photos. So whenever you see one, you just start talking. But I'm just going to start flipping right now through the images.
Yes. Day of the Tambourine. These are from Rob Verhorst, which are great.
And actually, speaking of Rob, really quickly, hold on one second. I do have this book from Rob, and I know that you helped Rob on this book. So can you talk a little bit about this book?
Well, basically, for this book, there are a lot of photos from Rob in this book. For instance, the 1986 chapter starts with a photo by him. And for this book, he started digging into his archives, and he found so many great photos he hadn't published before. So he felt like, well, maybe I should do my own book. And Rob is the only photographer in the Netherlands that didn't miss a single tour between 1986 and 2002. After that, no photographers were ever permitted at a Prince show anymore. So he basically had the entire story of all those tours. So then we decided to make this book, and it's fun because Prince knew 2 Dutch photographers, one of them being Rob, and he requested a photo shoot with Rob in 1988, and Rob asked for 1,000 guilders or something, which Prince found too expensive. so he found someone else to do the photo shoot, but Prince knew who he was. So and Rob loved Prince, so that's how the book came together.
Awesome. So I have a lot of photos, and sometimes I think they may be Rob, but I know that there are a couple of photographers, because like sometimes there might be the newspapers. So sometimes I go like, I'm not sure. So if you know for sure, just pointing out if it's not accredited properly.
This is also Rob. Yeah. And these are all from the 70s, from the first show that day. And actually, we were supposed to have my friend Mick, also a journalist, on here today as well, because Mick showed Prince around in the Netherlands. And the day prior to these concerts, Prince went clubbing in the Netherlands, and Mick showed him around, and eventually they settled on a club called Bangles in Amsterdam, and that became Prince's preferred club every time he went to the Netherlands in the 1980s. But after this show on the 17th, it was Lisa's birthday. If you can read, you can read that in Duane's book. And Prince left them hanging. He didn't acknowledge her birthday, and they went out for dinner. And Prince went clubbing to the clubs that Mick had shown him previous to that. So you see, this is actually where the revolution is starting to disband, even though you didn't notice it during the concerts, but there was a disconnect at that point.
It's just funny. Edgar's got the Morris Day mirror in the background.
Yeah, it is here.
So there's a question from Christina. Christina wants to know if this book, Rob's book, is still available or not.
It is. If she drops me a line, I'll be able to get it to her.
Awesome. So if you don't know, Edgar's on social media, but if not, you can email WDPDTW for What Did Prince Do This Week at Gmail, and I'll get it to.
Yeah, officially it's out of print, but I have about 3 or 4 boxes here in my garage still. So if you want one, I can get it to her.
Nice. See, we got
love
the
I love that suit look. That's all I say. I love the suit. And I love always.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool for the white on white, the tie and the shirt. So that's it.
He's performing a Love Bizarre here.
I love the cufflinks during this era, and some more photos by Rob.
During Head, he stripped off this shirt and with the cufflinks as well, and he threw it into the audience. And that shirt was later auctioned off and failed to sell. And I don't know what happened after that.
Interesting. So this is one of my favorite. I love seeing shots of the band as well. So obviously, again, Eric and Atlanta are in Kentucky this weekend. So definitely on my mind. Love this shot. I think it's a great shot of Prince. And you can see the suspenders. You can see the sweat.
It was really hot. It was, well, obviously it's summer, but it was one of the hottest summers in years. So you can see that as well. That the band is hot as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is like a amp or a speaker, but covered in paisley is like really beautiful. And another shot of the widescreen. I love this photo. It's very otherworldly. I don't know who the photographer is.
I see this one for the first time. So
this one?
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
And that reminds me of pictures where you see Prince not necessarily transforming, but that's like you could see that face hair going from Parade to Sign of the Times. It's like there are pictures where you can kind of see where he's going from one era to the other. That's it.
Yeah. So these pics are from different places. These pics are definitely not from one book. They're different photographers. They've been collected over decades. Yeah, it's a lot. Now, I love this photo because it reminds me of a shot that Jeff Katz took, and it was legs. These are arms that are framing Prince, but I really love this shot. It's a great shot. And I don't know if I feel like it's a shot from the crowd and maybe not a official photographer. Here you get
there was a strict 3-song policy, and everything other than the suit that he's wearing or the crop top, anything other is from the audience.
Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Here you see, again, the black and white polka dots paired with the blue. I love these two photos, of different stages of taking the shirt off. It's nice. And you get I call it the Christopher Tracy coat that Wally gave him. Love seeing Eric in the background on the flute. And you get a little bit of Lisa.
Who let that bird in here?
And some more shots. This is for you, Celie.
Me. All right, go ahead.
And some more.
I love that brooch.
Yeah.
I tried to wear a brooch one time and found out quickly why it was called choker. That's all I said.
Okay.
I realized that was not cool. Go ahead.
This is one of my favorite shots out of all the photos we'll see today. I always love any hand photos from the crowd and this nice pair with Prince's hand.
And you can also see why the fights broke out, because he wants to be up front because you could reach him.
Yeah, you could reach him for sure.
Yeah, those security guys got a job I don't want. I don't want to be that. How do you have that job?
This is another one of my favorite shots from. It looks like a 70s album cover, or I don't know. I love this shot of the three of them and Prince. And here's some more audience shots. And you have. All right. So this is August 18th, so the second night. And I want to call attention to poplife.nl, which is a website which has an amazing story about this night, and has one of the things I love is seeing the merch. So he has it down here somewhere. Seeing the merch here, and he tells a story that I want to read just because I love hearing personal stories about people who attended concerts. So do you know whose site this is?
Yeah, that's at the I'm damn. I know who he is.
It's
Edwin,
Erin,
but I
Erin Barendrecht?
ja, Barendrecht, dat is het.
Yes.
That's it. Barendrecht.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for that.
It sounds like you're joking, but that's how we speak here in the Netherlands. Barendrecht.
All right. So let's read this really quickly. Let's see. What happened before August 18? Mid-July came the big news. Prince would come to Netherlands for the first time since 1981. Dutch music magazine. Is that OR? O-O-R?
Or.
Okay.
Which means ear.
Okay. Just printed He Will Come on the cover, but it was not just an announcement. He would be there within a month. Pre-sale started on August 1st, 1986. Together with friend Martin, I went to the Dutch tourist office at the town of Alkmaar. Thank you. Early in the morning. Actual pre-sale started at 9 a.m. and with great relief, we were able to secure 8 tickets. 2 of them arena standing tickets. Every major newspaper and music magazine published articles before the great event. Every music lover in the Netherlands couldn't wait for Prince to arrive. The general tenor, however, was seeing him actually emerge on the stage of Ahoy is believing. This is like a translation, so I don't know if it translated properly. So what happened on August 18th, 1986 at Ahoy? Because Martin and I purchased the tickets and managed to acquire 2 arena tickets, it was decided that we should use the arena tickets close to the stage on the right-hand side, windy side. The stage was obscured by big black curtains. About 8:30, I heard the distinctive intro to Around the World in a Day becoming louder and louder. The light switched off. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Prince and the Revolution. Behind the closed curtain, the revolution started. Open your heart, open your mind. First refrain, curtains closed. Second stanza, curtains still closed. Second refrain, curtains fly open. Ahoy explodes. The revolution at full strength and the undisputed center, Prince, who seemed to be in the mood for a great evening. What followed was a soul review wherein Prince strung multiple songs together in extremely funky medleys and directed the band. The concentration of every member of the revolution stood out. Not one moment did they let Prince out of their sight, for the smallest hand signal meant playing a certain coda or certain riff with On the One and Good God. The machine was effortlessly stopped and started. I was completely overwhelmed. I heard he was good, but this seemed to come from a completely different galaxy. When after the first hour and the genius-like medley of Raspberry Beret, Delirious Controversy, A Love Bizarre, the first moment for catching a breath came with Do Me Baby. Overwhelmed was putting it very mildly. What he did vocally was inimitable, so good, so perfect, so pure, so full of soul and gospel. The ease of dissing out one highlight after the other was something I had never experienced before. And When Doves Cry wasn't even played yet. Just like all the songs, it was played in a different version than the one I knew, something he would persevere until his untimely death, beginning with a nice and quiet build-up and getting more and more rousing. The genius didn't stop. A little bit later on, one of my favorite B-sides, 17 Days, the arena lights switched on and the party was complete. A great rendition of a great song. Head came next and was extremely funky. Up until 1999, a lot of songs from the latest 2 releases. America was the first lengthy encore. Prince got behind the drum kit and gave a short drum solo. All kinds of chants were thrown into the Ahoy. The Roof is on Fire, More Bounce to the Ounce, After Kiss, The Closer, Purple Rain. I witnessed for the first time the entire audience singing along to the closing vocal coda of the song, which sounded impressive. I clearly remember staring open-mouthed at the stage after the concert ended. I couldn't believe what I had just witnessed right before my eyes. The beginning of a lifelong admiration was born on this night. I think this is an incredible write-up of this particular show, and I think that's the reason why we need to hear from more of us, meaning the fans, about what it was like to be at these shows and why I tried to get people to come on. So Edgar, do you have any response to hearing that?
Well, the two things. Indeed, this is a great review, and he in his enthusiasm he forgets to mention that the one time in his career that Manic Monday is played during a Prince show is in this show, and he there's so much going on he doesn't even mention it in the review. This is great. And what I also like is the way he reacts to the show, which is how many people reacted, and even the press reacted like that. By far my favorite review from those shows, from this specific show, is a reviewer that said, "Van this is one of the three best shows of the year," and then the other two being the other two concerts. So. So he upped the level for everybody.
Yes, for sure. So go ahead.
Wait.
So another thing that he has on his website, which I think is really great for people who don't have the tour book, is like all of the photos from the tour book. And all of these photos are by Jeff Katz, which is my favorite Prince photographer. There are many amazing Prince photographers, but Jeff Katz is up at the top, maybe like in battle with Alan Bolio, but very much up at the top. And I just brought mine out. I brought this mostly actually out for C. Lee, because I know C. Lee. Hold on one second. Where's my C. Lee loves the
yes.
suit. So
that's probably my second favorite Prince picture of all time. That's like my second favorite.
Yes.
What's the first?
It's the one of the controversy era where he has the white shirt with the white suspenders with the tie hanging over and the black pants. Those are like my two. Yeah, I love those two pictures. And it's odd because they're like it didn't just dawn on me like they're kind of similar pictures.
Yeah. So one more picture that's in the tour book that I had totally forgot. C. Lee knows my favorite picture of all time.
People Magazine.
Yes.
People Magazine.
I do not like it. Here we go. There we go. We got it. See,
there you go.
and also the Japan bootleg that C. Lee has there.
Yes, indeed. There it is.
Hold on 1 second. Let me make you full screen. There you go.
There it is. Yes. September. Oh, you know what? My concept, I was like, if this is the Japan bootleg, why is it September? Why should it be?
All right. So
I got a question. I should know this, but this is my first time. This is something I've wanted to know since 1987. So I've made this a European thing, but this may not be a European thing, but this is something been on my mind since 87. So I'm going to ask Brother Edgar. And if it's not a European thing, then Protef and the people in the chat, you can answer the question. Where or when or where did OEO come from? Because I associated with European crowds. Like I'd never heard that chant at an American concert. So the first time I ever heard OEO, was that a European thing? And if so, where did it come from? And did anybody else ever did that in America? Go ahead.
It comes from the Wizard of Oz. But somehow it made its way to concerts.
That's my point. I think that is from Wizard of Oz, but I had never heard it in America. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Edgar.
Yeah, but people started. I truly don't know why people started doing that. But it also happened at Michael Jackson concert, for instance.
Okay.
And at one point, Michael Jackson's Jackson's band started playing "It's Gonna Be a Beautiful Night," which connects to that, of course. But there were various chants like that pop up in here in Europe. We had this weird concert culture, especially back in the 1980s, where the entire crowd was already singing hours before the band came on. They weren't talking; they were singing. They're doing waves, and they're chanting from the left side to the right side of the so people were, well, they weren't busy on their phones because they didn't have any phones.
Right.
They were just, they were interacting with each other, and then the left side of the stadium was interacting to the right side of the stadium. And at that point, chants like this were they were being sung from the balcony, from the other, and that's how it started. But I truly don't know. There is no origin point.
Okay, and I just
at least I don't know if there's an origin point. Let me put it that way.
And I just want to be clear to the folks in the chat. Yeah, I knew it was from the Wizard of Oz. That wasn't my question. I knew my question was, how did it become a concert chant? And I'm glad for Brother Soul. Because I remember, just sitting, you go to the movie theater and you're like, hey. And by that time, by 87, I'd been going to concerts since I was 6 years old. I had never heard the Wizard of Oz chant or anything like that. And then the more I do research and I go like, oh, that seems like it was a European thing. So I'm glad you're breaking down like that was something that you guys were doing like before shows, let people not on their phones so people would be on their shows. But I just something else you said. Now I got to hear that Michael Jackson thing. I never. Yeah, I'm today years old. So you got to direct us to where we can find that Michael Jackson band doing "Beautiful Night."
It's one of the 1988 videos that is on YouTube, and you really don't want to hear it, but but it's there. I will drop a link when I find it. It is there for sure.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, please send me that link, Edgar, and I'll add it to the accompanying playlist. So I'm curious, is that OEO, was that like a sports thing, like a sports chant?
Yeah, absolutely. And because in 86 you had the World Championship football, or soccer as you call it in America. That's where those chants also come from. And in 1988, especially the European soccer or football championships were in exactly the same time as the Love Sexy tour. So a lot of the chants from the football games carried over to the Prince concert, or any other artist performing at that point.
Got it.
Getting her sports on. Go ahead.
I had a nudge from a secret person because otherwise I wouldn't have asked. But I asked it for you, C. Lee.
I appreciate that because when you asked that question, I said, yeah, it makes a lot of sense because football or soccer chants and singing is a really big part of that culture. So that makes sense that it would come over like that. That's cool.
And if you listen to the Dortmund show from '88, Prince requested a specific Dutch audience, so he had people brought in from the Netherlands to the show in Germany because he wanted. He wanted Dutch people because he liked the Dutch fans. So the show was in Germany, but he only wanted Dutch fans. And Holland had at that point just won the European football championships in Germany. So a lot of the chants you hear in that Dortmund show are Dutch Prince fans, but also football fans mocking the Germans.
I was gonna say that's rubbing it in their face. That is messed up.
Championship.
They're rubbing it in the Germans' face. Take this L one more time.
Absolutely. So you hear them chant Holland, which doesn't make sense if you don't know what's happening. Well, why are they chanting Holland in Germany? Well, that's because the entire stadium was full of Dutch people.
Oh, that's nasty work there. That's cold.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the second show, and I know, Edgar, you got to go very soon. So I'm just these are a couple more tickets. Can you read the headlines for these?
Yeah, it's this ecstatic scenes around the superstar, and chilling screams and pleasure galore. Those are the two headlines.
And I love one reason why I wanted to show this is just for the crowd shot in the bottom left-hand corner. Again, I always love seeing the crowd shots.
One fun thing to notice is that Prince in his hotel room, he had all the reviews were translated for him, and they were handed to him at 10 o'clock in the morning the next morning, so he could read what the press was saying about the concert.
That's incredible. Thank you for that. And
there's also a fun anecdote about the hotel room. I emailed you this, D'Angela, about the back in the day. Sony had created a yellow Walkman that could float into a bath. Yeah.
Yes.
And Prince's record company thought it would be a nice surprise to have one of those yellow Walkmans that could float in his bathtub when he arrived in the hotel room. And and they requested to have purple foam in it, but it was on a Friday night at that point. And back in those days, all the shops were closed on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, or Friday from 5, and on Saturday and Sunday the shops were closed. So the hotel couldn't get any purple foam anywhere. So the hotel manager decided to pour some lemonade, purple lemonade, into the bathtub, hoping Prince wouldn't jump in when he arrived in his hotel room, to have that purple foam. Unfortunately, I don't know if Prince jumped in, but it would be, in my mind, I see him annoyed with the sticky purple lemonade from his bathtub. But that's a whole different story. But that was in his hotel room in Amsterdam. And that's where he also got those reviews. So
nice. So here's some photos from the second show, and you can go ahead, Lee.
No, I was just gonna say, as an aside, my wife made me leave the room, and she watched this last night all by herself. That is it. Go ahead.
Okay. This is for you, Celie, obviously.
Yes.
Love the shot of Prince.
This is a great one.
Eric in Atlanta Bliss, which I am like, wish I was in Kentucky right now. So like, also love this shot. Great shot.
That's my favorite breakdown of the show. That DMSR, you know, that little melody run they do. That is like one of my favorite moments of that show.
And this is one of my favorite shots from all the photos this week, just because you can see the love between these two men. Like Prince loved Jerome and Jerome loved Prince. And you could see that they were always having fun together. And I don't know, I just love seeing Prince happy, and Jerome made him happy. So I love that photo. And this is a great shot of, you know, a little wider shot to get, you know, a sense of who's on the stage, where he is, and then Prince in red and black. And got our polka dots again.
He really liked that vest. I will say that he threw that vest on top of everything. Like,
yeah.
like it's almost like the broke person. Like, yeah, forget that. I'm wearing this jacket everywhere. So that polka dot vest got a lot of wear and tear.
I'm always wondering what happened here, because every night he was up on the rafters with Jerome, throwing flowers into the audience. And this is the only show I know from that year that he's up there with Greg. So I don't know why isn't Jerome there?
Interesting. And I got a correction. This is orange, not red. And in the bottom left-hand corner, Edgar, do you know like what that text is?
Yeah, it says beer.
Okay, beer. Okay.
Yeah, it's there's Heineken beer, which is a Dutch brand. They had these banners throughout the arena, so you see part of the Heineken beer commercial there.
Got it.
You know what? That's because I remember there was a flap with the Act 2 leg of the tour when I think Coca-Cola began sponsoring. And people got mad about that, but then seeing that in that corner was like, you know, he had sponsorships before. But I was wondering, do you remember that when people got upset with the Act 2 leg of the tour when Coca-Cola sponsored it and a few fans got mad, or that was a non-factor? I was just checking the egg if you know.
No, here in the Netherlands, people thought it was fine.
Okay.
There were the Act 2 tour. There were these huge cans. On either side of the entrance, so you entered the venue through two big Coca-Cola cans, which was fun.
Let me go back. Do you know? Anybody know what song that is? Because I've always loved that guitar, but I've only seen him doing it.
Yeah.
What? Wait.
I want to elaborate on what D'Angela just said. She said that she didn't like that Prince was not playing many instruments during this tour, and one of the criticisms which he read that morning in the paper, that was that he didn't play enough guitar that concert. So what did he do that evening? He played the guitar, and this was, let me see, it's America. He's playing guitar in America here.
Love that shot. Love that. Love that.
And the guitar.
We don't know for sure, of course, but there was this review in the newspaper that Prince didn't play enough guitar, and well, there you have it. The next evening, he plays more guitar than the night before.
I love the shot. I love this facial expression. Got the white cloud. And a lot of these shots.
Yeah.
All right. So we got 10 minutes. So this is the last show in the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, another ticket.
Yes. I love whoever took this ticket. I love the black and white. Like, they're very thematic because that's what the stage was.
Yeah.
And so can you tell me about this Focus? I think it's a magazine.
Yeah. What it was, the Rotterdam concerts were on August 17, 18, and 19. And Focus is a Belgian magazine. And he did a show in Belgium on 28th of August, if I'm correct. But at least a few days later. And they and that one was sold out immediately. So they sent a Belgian photojournalist to cover the Rotterdam shows and publish it in Focus magazine, so they could sell the last tickets for the Belgium show.
Nice. So these really amazing shots.
Yeah.
I really like this one because it reminds me of the cover. Just, like the same pose, but different clothes, different night. And I thought this one was really interesting. Always loving seeing the fellas with Prince and just the front lineup. This is another great shot with Prince in between Eric and Atlanta Bliss. And you get a little Dr. Fink up there in the corner.
It's like a floating head there.
Yes. And I kept this in for you, Celie. This is a variation.
That's right. Me again.
Yeah. But all of these are really great shots from Focus magazine. I love this expression. And in the background reminds me of the Vanity Six, the B-side. the backside of the Vanity Six because of the color change. I love this shot. Love this shot.
Here, totally on the left side, you can see the entire Heineken beer sign that you just asked about.
Yes. And you see Sony as well.
Yeah. So normally this was a cycling track. You can see you can see it around the stage.
Cycling. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it was a cycling track. These days it's still called Sportpaleis, but the cycling track has been removed since I believe 88 or 89.
Is it still? Do they still do sports in there? Is it just?
Yeah, they still do sports in there. There's earlier this year I visited a tennis tournament. IBN AMRO Open it's called, but doesn't matter. But they still do sports there. But they also do the North Sea Jazz Festival at this venue, for instance.
Oh wow!
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love the shot of Jerome.
You see, here Jerome is back again. So up under the rest. I really like this shot.
Yes, yeah. Because you get to see the stage.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm always surprised about that when you see the footage from the show, it looks so big, and then you see this, and it's like a pretty small stage, and so Prince carries the stage as well. He makes it bigger than it really is.
He always did. So here's another photographer, William Rudin.
I love that guy. Yeah.
William was a 16-year-old boy at the time. And,
wow.
And he's right now he's one of the most famous music photographers we have here in the Netherlands. But back then he was just a fan who smuggled his camera into the venue. And managed to take pretty good shots.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's another great lesson, though, right? Follow your passion, right? Follow the thing that you love to do. So that's a great story. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Some more guitar shots. All right. So 5 more minutes.
What the photos don't show is that the last show in Rotterdam was a really aggressive crowd. There were lots of fights breaking up. The show had to be stopped multiple times because of.
No, keep talking because I'm making notes as you're talking because one of my little side things, I'm not going to do a project on it. One of my little side things, Edgar, is been noting fights that break out at Prince's shows.
Yeah. Well, there's if you listen to the bootleg of this one, that there are many. As early as Love Bizarre, that's quite early in the concert. Then Prince started saying, "I'm reading this from my own book." Sorry, he started saying, "Oh, what's the problem? Hey, what's the problem? Be cool. You all gotta be cool. We don't want to get hurt tonight." Mm-hmm. And then he singles out one person. We're here to have fun. All right, but be cool, man, because I will go home. Let's party. Come on now. And then a few songs later, during When Doves Cry, another fight breaks out, and they quit the guitar solo that Wendy is doing at that point. And Prince then says, "Everybody stay still. We ain't gonna get hurt. Stay still. Party where you are." And then during another Lover Hole in Your Head, another fight breaks out, and also that song gets stopped. And then Prince starts saying to the audience, "Please behave." And it goes on and on and on. There are multiple songs. Where this keeps happening. Somehow he makes it through the end of the show. But if you listen to the bootleg of this specific show, there are a lot of fights, which is weird because the people were so happy and were so enthusiastic. So why those fights? I really don't know.
I think that comparing them to, because that's the Rotterdam show, right?
Yeah.
And if you compare them to, there was a Purple Rain show, there was the Boston show, Boston Parade show, and then the DNA show, and the DNA show in San Francisco. A lot of it had to do with people pushing to get to the front.
Yeah.
And I think that was so I'm glad because when I had that down, I didn't know it was multiple fights. So thank you for letting me know that it was multiple. I had it down as one.
And if you compare the set list of this show, it is the same set list, but if you see the playing time of this show, he calls it quits earlier. Mm-hmm. They just move through the songs at break speed pace, and then they're off.
Mm.
So all of these shows are in the accompanying playlist, or you can go directly to D68A's channel. You should be, by now you should subscribe to D68A.
Yes.
If you haven't, but it's also in the accompanying playlist, all of the shows, so you can hear it. So I want to be mindful of your time, Edgar. Do you have what do you need to go? What's your time?
Well, I'm just texting with my wife how much time I have. A few minutes.
Okay. All right. So let's get into the Copenhagen show. This ticket is a little different from the Rotterdam tickets. And this is the cruise shirt, which I love the color.
That's an interesting shirt. The collar, the almost Azad Argyle looking cruise shirt. Okay.
Yes. I don't know what's going on with the front. Is that a brand? Like a jeans brand?
I think it's a brand. Back in the day, we here in Europe usually had brands sponsoring the cruise shirts from concerts.
Oh, interesting.
So there are a few from the Netherlands as well, not from '86, but from other years that already have, for instance, a Coca-Cola logo or something like that on it. Which was very common back in the day. So I think they just looked for a shirt sponsor and not only at Prince shows, of course, just concerts in general.
So Vanessa, who's actually from the UK originally, says that she thinks that football culture has something to do with the fights. Do you agree with that or no?
Maybe.
Hey, look here. Edgar got to go back home. Y'all not gonna get him in trouble. Look here. That's a no. Hell no. Y'all ain't get me in trouble. I got to go to these football matches.
I personally never went to a football match, but I know a lot of fans that both were and still are football fans and Prince fans, and somehow I can't connect the two in my head, but there are people who are like that. So
yeah. So another great shot of a lot of Prince in the air during the parade tours. A lot of amazing shots. I'm sure
I
people.
really like this one.
Yeah. Do you know the photographer? Because I don't know the photographer for this
I
one.
think I know the photographer, but I don't have his name
Yeah.
here.
And here's another one. And okay, now we're into Stockholm. And
video boot.
Here's the poster, which at least is a parade era picture. Here's a ticket.
But what I find interesting is, for instance, the Copenhagen show. You can see that Prince was still pretty small over there. That there are hardly any newspaper articles that I could find from that particular show. I've been collecting newspaper articles from all kinds of shows in Europe just to see different perspectives, and there hardly are any from the Copenhagen show. So in those countries, they caught on maybe a little later.
Now, this is the cruise shirt in Stockholm. And
I've never seen this one, and I like it.
Yeah, I love the outline on the back. It's pretty cool. And here are some clippings. I didn't have time to get these translated, but you can see some of the photos.
Yeah.
And it seems like more of a tabloid kind of thing. Here's some photos of Wendy and Prince. I love this shot for some reason. I don't know why, but I love this shot. Don't know the photographer. And another one that reminds me of the cover because he's sitting down. He seems like that's a thing he does. There's your polka dot vest, Celie.
That boy, he got some mileage out of it. Quick question to you two and anybody in the chat. Because seeing these videos, seeing these pictures, do you know if anybody's written a book around, I'm trying to see how I want to say it, like fan or concert goer culture? And I was just thinking about seeing these young people go to the show dressed up like Prince, and then just books around either fan or concert culture, and then one, if it was books and concert culture, but then from like an international, like looking at how fan and concert culture would be in Europe versus somewhere else. Does anybody know if somebody's done any kind of books or studies like that?
I personally, I haven't, but I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make that a Edgar or Matt Thorne project. Them two, y'all have to do a fan concert, because really, I know going back to the whole OEO and then watching these, it's like, because you talked about something like how people was like really together and cool, and then it changed, and it's something about fan culture at concerts that no matter what kind of social political turbulence we got going on, when you just take these pictures at concerts, it's just kids being kids, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so absolutely. These concerts of just kids being kids, so we can't fucking get along away from a damn concert. That's it. I'll say.
But that's part of my book. For instance, here's a fan, being dressed like Prince or Michael Jackson. Here are two fans during the Love Sexy shows.
Yeah,
absolutely. Here are some other fans waiting to get in for the new tour, and there are many other shots like this in this specific book, because that's also what the book is about. Not specific fan culture in the broader sense, but in this case the fan culture for Prince concerts. How, like you said, how come we can get along when we are all going to be there on a show and we are all happy, etc. And then when the show is over, we all go our separate ways, and then somehow the line breaks or something, you know.
Which is another reason why we need an English version of your book. Let's go on.
So these are pictures of Prince going to a club in Stockholm. So these were from a newspaper clipping. So that's the reason why the photos aren't the best, but these are better. And you can see Prince hiding himself with a different Christopher Tracy coat. And I did actually translate this one, but I don't know like what it's from. So I'm going to read it really quickly. It says, "Good night," said Prince, and left the party through the kitchen by Christina Adolphson. At 1:30 in the morning, he arrived, Prince. Accompanied by his father and 4 bodyguards, he sat in a secluded corner of Cafe Opera and ate dinner, even though his plane was scheduled to leave Stockholm early that morning. The venue had been reserved for the evening and was packed with specially invited guests. Among them were, I can't pronounce these names, so they're going to be really bad, Edgar. Britt Eklund and Slim Jim, who revealed that his favorite Prince song was "I Would Die for You." Magnus Herenstam, Magnus Ugla, Eva Atling, who managed to get an autograph, Bjorn Borg, and
Bjorn Borg, tennis star. Yeah. I know him.
You know, all these Swedish names are easier to pronounce than Dutch names.
Yes. And is it Yannick, Scorpions, Def Leppard, Ozzy Osbourne, who had performed at Monsters of Rock that evening, Joey Tempest, and an assortment of advertising, record company, and radio people. The confetti matched his father. In Prince's honor, the venue had been specially decorated with purple and white balloons, purple confetti, and candelabras with burning candles. Prince himself wore a red jacket, white shirt, and red tie. The confetti matched his father better, however, because he was wearing a purple jacket. After dinner, Prince took a turn on the dance floor with a tall brunette, but quickly sat down again when the DJ played Sheila E.'s "A Glamorous Life." Like a monkey in a cage, header. Prince appeared to be in good spirits despite being watched by all the guests like a monkey in a cage. He talked and laughed with his backing singers and made repeated trips around the venue, naturally accompanied by vigilant bodyguards. At 2:45, Prince wrapped himself in a large gray tweed coat and left Cafe Opera with his father, who took the opportunity to bring a purple balloon home with him. Photo captions, starting in the top left-hand corner, in the pouring rain outside Cafe Opera, Prince's fans crowded around the windows, hoping to catch a glimpse of their idol. Second at the top, at 2:45 a.m., Prince slipped away from the party. He was smuggled out through the kitchen entrance of Opera and into a waiting limousine. Outside the Sheraton Hotel, the car stopped and Prince hurried toward the entrance, the second row, and then he pulled on his heavy coat and rushed past a group of fans who had been waiting patiently outside the hotel. And at the bottom, with his coat shielding his head and guards escorting him, Prince hurried through the hotel's glass doors. The female admirers waiting with their cameras at the ready did not even manage to get a picture of their idol's face.
Can I say something about the Netherlands still? Like I said, I was supposed to bring my friend Mick here tonight, who showed Prince around in Amsterdam. And what happened here in Sweden is exactly the opposite what happened in Amsterdam. Prince went out to this club here in the Netherlands. People looked, well, who's that? Oh, it's Prince. And they went about their business. They left him there. They totally didn't care that he was Prince or any other celebrity. And that's why I liked going out in Amsterdam in that specific club, because people left him alone there. He could do whatever he wanted, and people just went about their business. So that was a big difference between the Netherlands, and that's why I think he felt at home here for all those years. They just left him alone. There were no paparazzi waiting for him. There were no fans who wanted an autograph or something like that. He was just going out and having a good time.
Quick question. Is that kind of like the norm of like that you guys don't seem to have like celebrity culture or people losing their mind over celebrity culture like elsewhere?
Well, we're in the Netherlands. We have a saying, which is, I'll say it in Dutch first. It says, "Doe maar normaal, dan doe je gek genoeg," which means just act normal, then you're crazy enough. And that's and that's basically the way that we treat people and celebrities as well. You don't, when you meet a celebrity in the Netherlands, people will recognize you, but they go about their business soon as well, because they think, you can be a celebrity, but you have to pee and to poop just like me as well. We bring celebrities down to our own level generally.
Bring them down to our world.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
So, Edgar, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Especially, please give your wife a massive thanks for
Yes.
allowing you to be with us, because you've brought so much context that we wouldn't have gotten without you being here. And please translate your book into English. Please, please,
Yes.
please, please.
If I do, you'll be the first to know.
Yes.
And when I do,
Thank you.
I'll keep watching. But dinner is being served right now, so I really have to go.
Go eat, bro. Go be
Okay.
with family.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Peace out, man.
All right.
I just want to add one thing. I think at that time, Beyond Board may have been one of the biggest sports stars on the planet in 1986.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah,
that shows you how.
Yeah, that's the point, right? That shows you how big Prince was. That if Beyond Board is coming to see Prince in 86, that lets you know what a big deal is. And I'll also say this. One of my favorite moments, tennis moments, comes a few years later, 1990. Jennifer Capriati makes a historic run as a 14-year-old at Wimbledon in 1990, right? I come home from church, Prof. Duff, because I'm trying to get home to see Wimbledon. I turn on the TV. I don't really know. I kind of know, but don't know. This 14-year-old tennis phenom is wearing a new tour shirt.
What?
She had just gone to the tour that night.
Incredible.
I've been looking for that Jennifer Capriati interview, because they're interviewing her about making this historic run at 14 at Wimbledon. And someone says something like, I see that t-shirt you're wearing. And when I say it was no more about Wimbledon, it was no more about tennis, this 14-year-old girl was like, yes, Prince. And I was like, that may be the tennis star. And, so Beyond Board there. And then I just remember that moment in 1990, me being 20, it's Graffiti Bridge, it's the Nude Tour, and having this tennis phenom losing her mind over Prince in 1990 was like, for me, like, yes, there are people like me who still get it. Because, by the time you get to 1990 and with everything that's going, and it's the summer and Graffiti Bridge doesn't hit well, and to see this girl at Wimbledon, this star at Wimbledon, forget my tennis, this history I'm making, she was kind of like, let me tell you. I saw Prince last night, and yeah, so if anybody can find that Jennifer Capriati 1990 interview at Wimbledon, she talking about that. Yes, Beyond Board was bigger than Malcolm and John McEnroe, and they were rivals as well. Beyond Board and McEnroe were rivals. All right, I'll shut up.
All right, so we actually are at the end, but we're not done yet. We're doing pretty good. I don't know. Yeah. Our timekeeper has been nice to us today. Right. All right. So far in 1986, Prince has performed 20 live concerts, and he did 5 of them this week. So 3 nights in the Netherlands, 1 in Denmark, 1 in Sweden. And the previous week, we had 5 shows in London. All right. So in New York, we are at the end of summer, but there's still time to get your summer concerts in. So Summer Stage is still going on. Celebrate Brooklyn is still going on. Alice Smith is still doing her residency at Joe's Pub in New York City for a final show Thursday, August 27th, unless another one has been added, which is absolutely possible. I haven't been on social media lately. But for those of you who are in Atlanta, I know I have a huge Atlanta crew. Alice Smith is coming to Atlanta in October. Do yourself a favor and go see her. Your life will be changed. It is like, she is such an incredible live performer, one of the best right now. So that's important. Bilal is also doing a tour, and very, very excited about his Prince set that's coming up in LA. Nothing compares to Prince alongside DJ Rashida. There's your Prince connection on both counts. Bilal doing Prince songs and DJ Rashida. You can't get any better than that in LA. And I was supposed to do that. everyone should be aware that they're actually doing a live stream, which I'm very excited about, a global album release party for Timeless next week on August 28th. And it's going to be live streamed to not only YouTube, but also Facebook. I'm really big into live streaming. Like, I wish there was just more live streams of everything. One of the things I loved is last year, Erykah Badu actually you could pay for a live stream of one of her concerts. I couldn't afford to go. I couldn't afford the ticket to see her live. And I normally go to see every single tour she's done. But last year I was like, I cannot pay that much money for a ticket. But I did pay for the live stream and it was very reasonable and I really enjoyed it. So I just wish more people would take to live streaming things. So I'm very excited about this live stream of the Timeless Global Album Release Party.
So quick question.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's coming out. So when they say it's coming out, does that mean that those of us who ordered, when I go to my mailbox on August 28th, that's going to be, is that what they mean? Because I ordered a month or so ago. So
I don't know. So usually when I order from the Prince estate, I rarely get it on the day it's released. I usually get it 2 days later. Okay. Versus if you order from Amazon, you usually get it on the day.
And so you like me then, huh? Like I always choose the estate, although I know Amazon is gonna be quicker, but I want to directly get the money to them. So okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one making that decision.
No, it depends on the release. I think something, the vinyl, like the marble vinyl, something was only through the estate. So when something's only through the estate, I usually order everything from the estate. But sometimes if I really want something, I'll just order that special thing that's only available from the estate and then use Amazon. Like if I got to get my hands on it. Okay. And when I was rolling in the dough, and I've never been rolling dough, but when I had more discretionary income, which I don't have, and I would order two of things, I would order one from the estate and one from Amazon. Okay. Just so, I could get it.
Just one little thing. Yes, Brother Felton, I actually had one made. I had one made and wore it proudly. I don't have to get dressed up in suits anymore since I retired, but it was, my polka dot vest was in heavy rotation, all because of the parade tour. So yes, Brother Felton. All right, that's it.
All right. Okay. So they're live streaming Stern Grove. I don't know Stern Grove. I got to see Al Green. So that's nice to know. I got to find that because I love me some Al Green.
Al's still out there pumping it out too. He's still working.
Yes. I love Al Green. I've probably seen Al Green live. One time the Blind Boys of Alabama opened for him, which was incredible. Yeah. So I think I've seen Al Green live at least 3 times, if not 4 times. I saw him once in Philly. I saw him once in Atlanta. Oh, I took my mom there because my mom hates Al Green, but I took her anyway. So actually, I think I've seen her 4 because we went to Chastain Park, I think, for that. But I love Al Green live. But the only thing I don't like about his live performance is
you sing it.
Yeah, you know it, Celie.
You sing it.
I hate that. Like, I didn't come to hear the crowd sing. I came to hear you sing. And another thing I love that he does is that he makes the band play very, 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 very low. Like they're like, really?
Yeah.
And it's not low enough for him. He's like, so I think when they crescendo back up, it's like incredible. Nobody does that.
You're gonna hear Al. Yeah. And I've seen every inception of Al. I saw early Sin for Al. I saw Al when he was only singing at churches. Then I saw Al when he left the churches. So I've seen every Al, and you're right. After you get to church, Al is you sing
it. Yes. All right. So D68A is saying, I saw a story that the Japanese vinyl pressing of Timeless is delayed as they didn't import materials in time. So I feel for the Japanese market because everybody's going to be talking about it. And Love Sexy, Senua says, I did the same thing. I want my order 2 days before the official release date. Don't we all? And I love this. Christina says, I'm leaving work early and buying it at the local record store. That's what I'm talking about, Christina. That's really incredible. And oh, LTKK, I'm so sorry that you've been having connection issues. You got to go back and watch this episode. This is probably one of my favorite episodes of the entire year because we had Edgar come on, and Edgar is so knowledgeable about Prince, period. And having him come on to talk about the Netherlands shows on the parade tour is like heaven sent. So like I love this particular episode. So please hit like, at least for Edgar, if you don't want to do it for me, because Edgar gave us so much amazing information. It is really, really, really incredible. All that because I didn't know, Celie, that Michael Jackson's band played It's Gonna Be a Beautiful Night. That was like a first for me. And
I know Edgar said we don't need to hear it, but I need to hear it.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Vanessa said I saw a video this week of Al calling out someone smoking at his show and calling them out on it.
I smell reefer.
Yeah, that's funny.
Look at reefer is a word Al would use. They don't say reefer no more, Al.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's see what we got. Okay, so obviously there is a lot going on in the Prince community with a lot of people in need, and Miss O's family has a GoFundMe. I'm not going to go through. I normally go through just because we're close to 2, but all the people that we're talking about are either massive Prince fans and really contribute to the community in one way or the other, or work directly with Prince. So there are GoFundMes for Miss O, there are GoFundMes for Jackie Thompson, there's GoFundMes for Rich Benson's wife, there's GoFundMe for Addie Durant, for Troy Gua, for Dr. Funkenberry, for Des Dickerson, and these, even if you've contributed once, consider contributing again if you can. And if you can't do that, reach out, because when you are ill and you have, life-threatening illnesses in particular, or if you're incapacitated, it's not like being, sick. Like you just get up and like in a week. It's like months and years of lots of having to deal with so much. So if you can contribute in any way, I know that they would be grateful. And that's the reason why we continue to talk about these GoFundMes, because it takes, in the US, in terms of the healthcare industry, is very, very expensive. So anything that you can do to help, it would be very much appreciated. And if you don't have, you can contribute $1, $5. It doesn't have to be a lot, because those dollars and $5 add up. And so I hope that you'll consider that. And here are the playlists from D68A on D68A's channel. Again, subscribe to D68A's channel if you haven't already. But for those of you who haven't, you can go to my YouTube page. All the way at the bottom, there's a company playlist for all of the episodes. So you can listen to all 5 shows back to back to back to back if you like, starting with the 3 shows in the Netherlands. And let's see, we got a playlist for Ricky because we miss him so. Wish he was still here. And if you can, please donate to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation in memory of Ricky. And the bit.ly link is the flesh, because Prince loved the flesh. Ricky loved the flesh and Madhouse. And we are at the end. So take us on out, Celie.
Yes, brother DCA, I sure am. He posted that show. That was one of my early. I meant to bring that bootleg up. I actually had 2 copies of the bootleg. I had the whole show on cassette. And then on CD, I had it where it began at All the Critics Love You. So it didn't have Bambi on it at the beginning. He posted that. And I used to listen to it in the early 90s with all the lights off. And I would daydream that I was at First Avenue. So that's where he gets it from. I put that on. So yes, I am still, every time I turn it on, I turn all, that's one of the few boots that I listen to with all the lights off, because I remember that made me want to go see. So Bad news, good news. For me, I've enjoyed you guys through the summer. Unfortunately, Jackson State football kicks off next weekend. So I will miss you guys next weekend. I won't be here next weekend. But Prof Duff, I got a little good news. After that, the next 3 games are all at 6 p.m.
Oh, nice.
And so I like to be in my seat 2 hours before the game, so I don't have to be there till 4 p.m. So after next week, I will see you guys for the next 3 games. But then by the time we get to September, I'll see y'all, and I won't see y'all no more in October and November if we make a championship run. But I want to thank everybody in the chat again who was so patient with me and so nice to me and who was so supporting when Prof Duff had to step away. Shout out to Big Sexy. Shout out to Brother Turnbull. Shout out to Brother Dean and everybody who basically held my hand. I couldn't have got through any of that without you guys in the chat. I need you guys in the chat. I was feeling your love. I was feeling your support. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for doing that. And then, so as I always say, I'll end, hug the people you love and tell the people that you love them. Tell the people that you love them, and hug the people that you hug. Thank you, Prof Duff, for putting together this. While I won't see you guys, I'll be with y'all in spirit. I will have y'all in my earphones as I'm sitting in the stadium. Because we'll be in Nashville, by the way. We'll be in Nashville. The first Jack State's first game is in Nashville. I have a cousin also that lives in Nashville, and you will love this. My grandson, without any warning, basically said, y'all got my ticket for Nashville, right? Like a week before, like had we not thought about him 3 or 4 months ago, he literally was like, hey, y'all do have. So shout out to my grandson. Joshua will be with us when we go to Nashville. So love you guys. Again, hug the people you love. Tell the people you love them. Tell the people that you love them, and hug the people that you love. We'll be back here next week.